What is your name and age?
Mack Levine. I'm 29.
Would you support letting 16 and 17-year-olds vote statewide?
Vote for what?
School board and local elections, like mayor.
I think I would let them vote for the school board. In theory, I think yes, I would support 16-year-olds voting for things, 16 and 17-year-olds voting for things that pertain to them, like the school board, and I guess mayor to a certain extent. But I don't know if many 16-year-olds would take it seriously, and 17-year-olds would take it seriously. I think they have the capacity to, if they wanted to learn, but I think that the concern would be kids just doing it for fun, and then whichever candidate gets the most like memeable content would just garner young votes. So that's my honest answer. In theory, I'd like to say yes.
When you were 16, would you want to have been able to vote?
Yeah. I was interested in politics when I was 16 though, and like my parents were talking about it a lot, so I probably would have just copied what they did. But I think I would have wanted to vote for the things that impacted me. Like I remember presidential elections from that time, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So, when you think about people who are 16 and 17-year-olds in America account for the same amount of population that 80-plus-year-olds do, and 80-plus-year-olds are allowed to vote. I, knowing my grandparents and them knowing a lot of people, I would never let those people vote if I had the choice. So
why is that?
What is the distinction between intelligence-wise? I think 16 and 17-year-olds are a lot smarter, more in touch with the community and like the real world.
Yeah.
These people are retired, they haven't been in the workforce for decades, and I think...
Yeah. I agree with part of what you said. I agree that like that 16 and 17-year-olds are more in touch with like the community, what's relevant, they're the future, so to speak. But I don't know if I agree that they're smarter, and by smarter I mean like experienced in life. Like your grandparents and the older generation, they have 80 plus years of life experience. They know what certain elections look like, they know what certain politicians, what they run on versus what ends up happening. Do we agree with them? Because not necessarily. Times have changed. Things are like our whole like mode of communication, community conversation looks totally different. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, even like online newspaper, all of that looks totally different. Phones, everything. So I agree with you that like younger people have a better grasp on like what's relevant, but they don't have the institutional knowledge of having watched 20 presidential elections throughout their lifetime.
Well, we can see with the people of older age, we see they skew more central, more right. I think that is actually coming with their experience, and to me, that's not a good thing. And I think almost the experience makes them a worse voter because they're more influenced by, I mean, my grandmother, the first headline she sees, she believes is true.
Yeah.
She doesn't do any research. They believe in AI videos.
Fair.
They're very easily duped.
But couldn't you say the same for 16-year-olds?
I feel like you could, but also the ways that people are being manipulated now is not the same as it was. Like, I feel like people are being manipulated with these AI videos and these like almost like these campaigns of like trying to like almost take down the other candidate. And I feel like the younger generation can see more through that than like the older generation who just believes everything. Like not everything, but the majority of what they see. And also mentally, like people over 80 are like much more likely to have mental health problems and other stuff, and they still continue or be able to vote.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think I agree with you that there's like sort of almost like what's it called? Inverted bell curve of like capacity to maybe make the most educated, informed vote. I agree with you. You're making your point that like 16-year-olds and 80-year-olds on both ends of the age spectrum, a certain degree of, or I guess you're making the point on the older end of the spectrum, your capacity to like judge fact versus AI or understand, be in touch with like society.
Well, I just want to say that in countries like Austria, it's been proven that they've let 16-year-olds vote, and it shows in their country. This has led to the population of younger voters dramatically increasing. And I feel like in our day and age, we don't have the same.
Totally.
We need more young voters, and lowering the voting age will lead to more people getting in this habit of voting. And also in Berkeley, Oakland, and most of Maryland, 16 and 17-year-olds can already vote in state and school board elections.
That's cool. What did they say in California?
In California, I haven't looked at the Berkeley and Oakland, but I know the Los Angeles Charter has introduced the proposition to let 16 and 17-year-olds vote in city, so like for the mayoral race.
Yeah.
And that's going to be voted on, I think, in the coming dates, actually.
Cool.
By the city council.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
My question might be irrelevant by then.
Yeah. No, I'm here for it. Like I think it makes sense to let 16 and 17-year-olds vote again for like things that pertain to them. I only come at it from an ounce of skepticism, working with high schoolers throughout the 2024 election and having conversations with them about what they knew and what they were voting for, and watched a lot of kids make uninformed choices following what was like funniest on Twitter or TikTok. So that's like completely anecdotal, but that's where my mind goes, honestly, when you ask me that question.
Yeah.
But I think it makes sense. I mean, 16-year-olds, the conversations that you guys are having, I think you would be, a lot of the kids that I know at Larchmont would be perfectly capable of making informed votes, and that their votes like should count. I definitely think that like the younger you get kids to start voting, the more they might care when they become 18, 20, just like young adults.
And recently in the UK, the Labour Party ran on allowing 16 and 17-year-olds to vote in general elections. So we have this in many countries, like even Brazil has voting for 16 and 17-year-olds. They make up about, I think it's 50 million people of the population.
Yeah.
And I just think we're underrepresented, and we need more voice, and we need to contribute more.
Yeah.
And I think we can do it.
I appreciate the optimism. I agree with it to a certain extent. I'm coming at it with skepticism, and then I think like, what's the worst that could happen? I don't want to actually entertain all of that, but you know.
Do you think? Obviously, you have a lot of personal experience with 16 and 17-year-olds, but I don't know. Are they more susceptible to being like misinformation than even like 55-year-olds? I would say no. My parents easily AI videos all the time.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my god, look at this. It's a puppy. I'm like, that's AI. And I think it's everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody in this new media, this AI age, is being tricked constantly. And I think people making the argument that 16 and 17-year-olds are easily tricked is just some sort of anecdote, some sort of thing they've thought because of media, like because of movies and stuff, and like just almost a stigma against young people.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I definitely think, I mean, also you see the most political activism's coming from young people too.
Yeah.
So I think all that to say, I agree with you that like the intention is there, the wanting to be politically involved and have an opinion and be heard is there. So yeah, I think you're right.